Welcome back to Bespoke Addict. I've got another pair that's listed for sale on eBay UK. Beautiful pair these actually. They're Alan McAfee design, but they're actually made by Churches. Churches bought Alan McAfee. Oh gosh, many years ago. I think it was probably 70s or 80s. Alan McAfee was a bespoke maker on Dover Street in Mayfair in London. And Church has bought the rights to the company, as a lot of bespoke makers in the 60s and 70s got into difficulties, and they just went out of business, and other ready to wear makers bought the rights. And this S-shaped thing here, that's a classic Alan McAfee design. He used that, I think it's known as the McAfee S, and this sort of just this, not the actual complete style in the shoe, but that detailing there, he did on many of his bespoke shoes as a signature. And Churches they still produce Alan McAfee shoes in the traditional classic bespoke styles, but of course these are not bespoke, these are ready to wear, made by Churches, but they're there's no Churches labelling on them, but this signature Churches. Actually, these have got a topi which was fitted from new. Actually, it's not topi, but it's something similar, fitted from new. And the leather sole underneath that's never seen the pavement. But there's this stitching and this sort of print work. It's 100%. It's definitely Churches. The original nailing. That rubber's been replaced because they're quite old, and the rubber. This rubber went hard and brittle, so that's been replaced with brand new, which has never been on the pavement yet. But overall, they're a really nice pair that have been worn, but they're just in such lovely condition. And what saved them is this topi thing, which, if I were going to keep these, I would just peel that off and clean the residue of the glue off with alcohol, and just wear them as they were designed to be worn as leather-soled shoes. But that topi being on there, it's preserved the original sole 100%. The water's never got through. It's preserved all the original welting. I've worn these in the past. I've had them quite a long time, and I've worn them in the past quite a bit. And I did enjoy wearing them. They're just such lovely things, and they polish up beautifully. I'm working. It's dark outside. It's snowing, and I've got an LED light above us, so it's not picking up the shine very well. Black's quite difficult to photograph and video, but it's sort of military shine around here in the toes, and I always try to keep them that way. But they are lovely, and they're on eBay UK at no reserve. And it's just look inside here, London, Alan McAfee, but they're not Alan McAfee bespoke. I must stress that they are made by Churches. I think they're a 9.5D, quite a slim fitting shoe, but they're in lovely condition, and there's no damage apart from a slight bit of creasing here, where they've been worn. There's no damage to the uppers. It's the original heel, apart from that rubber that's been replaced. So the leather was not worn. It's got a few scratches from the pavement, but the original heel, because the rubber was old, it got hard and brittle. That wore away very quickly, and I didn't want to try and sell them with a very worn heel, and it seemed a shame to be taking off the leather that Church has put there. There's nothing wrong with that, and all the nailing pattern. So literally just the rubber's been cut away and replaced, and it's made quite a good job actually. I'm quite pleased with that. And nobody would know that the heel's been tampered with unless you really get in there. That bit of the rubber there is original, but the rest of it's brand new. I think we've already looked at this shoe, but just they'll make a lovely pair for somebody that wants a nice pair of very smart business-like shoes that are flexible. They're just lovely. I used to wear them quite a lot at one time many years ago. These were probably the best pair of shoes I owned, and they were just, when I bought them, I'll be honest, I bought them second hand, but they'd never ever been worn. They'd had a topi fitted, but they were completely box fresh. All the heel, everything was totally. So they could have been 10 years old when I bought them a while ago, and never used. I didn't have the box, and then I've used them, and I didn't have many pairs of shoes at the time, and I just enjoyed them so much. And I'd never found the pair of classic bespoke Alan McAfee with this S on, and these were the best I had at the time. So, but my collection has expanded and expanded, and I've now got so many pairs. Lovely though this pair are, they never really get to looking anymore. I just never ever wear them because I've got so many others to choose from. So it seems the right thing to do, even though I've been very fond of this pair, and they are quite old in my collection. And at one time they were my favourites, and they were certainly in the best condition of anything in my collection. It seems a shame for sort of sentimental reasons. I would like to keep them, but they'll never get worn again if I keep them. So I'm just going to let them go like this. I've given them a bit of a polish because they were already very polished, so just a light polish. But they could be polished and polished and polished even more. The base is there to make these literally like glassage effect. It takes time. But it could just be built on top of what's already here. You wouldn't have to strip these back to continue building the glassage. There's no damage to what's under here already. Obviously, if this had to be stripped back and rebuilt and layer after layer after layer, it'd be several hours. But an hour or two of continued sort of application and buffing, these would have the most intense sort of military shines. But certainly if I were going to wear them again, that's what I would do. But like I said, I've probably spent about half an hour just giving these just a light shine. But it could be taken so much further because the shoe's in beautiful condition and they deserve it. But eBay UK at no reserve.